What's happening, people? Welcome back to the channel. Make sure you subscribe, smash that like button, because today we're going to be talking about why people, students, in particular girls, boys, why they are failing when they're in the college environment. And I would know why, because I've been a lecturer for a number of years and I've seen it with my own eyes, because we've got a lot of students in this country who get taught by people who are not actually plumbers. It's surprising to you, but it's not surprising to me. Do you get what I mean? So sometimes you've got to work this out and break it down in sense way. Just let me know if you can hear the mic and it's clear enough for you. I'll try and turn it up a little bit. But getting straight to the crux of things is that most students right now are being taught by people who are not actually tradespeople, right? And you think, does that make sense? In my eyes, it doesn't make sense, yeah? But in the eyes of your college, they think it's great. It's thumbs up. Inside the college environment, it's very hard to give people lifetime experience or experience being on the tools, right? And the struggle you have with that is a lot of the students are liabilities, yeah? They might be students who are misbehaving, might not be that good with your maths and English, so they tell you, oh, jump on a plumbing course. You'll do all right. You'll be okay. You'll be good with your hands. But if you can't add up and spell the cat and the mat, it becomes a problem for you. And why we need maths and English is because as plumbers, we need to read a lot of things, instructions, shit we don't know. That's where it starts, right? But where we are when it comes to the learning capacity of people, it's like I've known by practice, it's easier for me to show people what to do. And there has been numerous amounts of times I've been in the classroom with other lecturers and they've told people, right, it's practical time, crack on. Not going to show them how to pull a 90, not going to show them how to pull an offset, not going to show them how to pull a passover. That's the different types of bends we have in plumbing, right? But when you come to me, I will show you, because I believe that there are 7 different ways on how to teach people, right? And some of us might just be stuck at one. And that's the reality. And what that falls down to at the end of the day is that people are getting a disingenuous service of learning, right? So I was always taught by someone who will show you what to do, let you try it for yourself, and then at some point during that practical lesson, yeah, you're gonna have to do it in front of them. And it's to do with a time frame, because all of your assessments inside your portfolio book has got a time frame which they would like you to do it in, whether it's 30 minutes to do this bend, whether it's 2 hours to do this assessment, whether it's P12, whether it's P whatever, doesn't matter. I know all of them because I've done it for over 9 years now. But the consistent thing which I see, which is lecturers not being able to show people what they need to do. And from school, yeah, kids or learners, as they're preferred to be called, you get the homework and they tell you what to do. When you get to college, you're supposed to be doing your coursework, you're supposed to be studying, and you're supposed to be reading up on the things what you need to do. That doesn't happen, obviously, innit? So inside the workshop, they actually need a lot more hands-on experience. And I've noticed that through teaching so many of these individuals. They have problems with learning. Like I said, they have problems with the maths and the English at the beginning. So when it comes to working out what to do on the assessment, Scooby. I ain't got a Scooby, which is understandable. You're here to learn. You're here to make mistakes, but you need the right type of guidance. And I don't ever try and push people through things which I know you're not physically capable of doing. Just going to adjust my lighting for a second. feel like it needs to be a little bit brighter. Right. And I've seen this time and time again. Perfect example is someone who's doing their level 3, not knowing how to pull a passover. It shouldn't be possible for you to get to your level 3 if you can't bend a passover. Do you get it? Or you don't know how to pull an offset. Again, you might tell someone you've forgotten because you don't have the hands-on experience as people who are in apprenticeships, right? It's understandable, but you should know the basics on how to do it. You should know the bending distance of the pipe. You should know your X and your Y dimensions. All of these things are things which should be second nature to you. I get it. At some points, there are a lot of people who jump on these courses and you're only there because your mum tells you to be there. You're only there because your dad says, oh, jump on this course. Plumbers make a lot of money. And there's a part of you which is just not interested in what you're doing. It's understandable. But at some point, it becomes a bit deeper than that. And I think we need to give people the level of support what they need, but we're never going to churn out the amount of plumbers the UK needs to build the household to hold up the construction industry. If you look at the pass rate on a plumbing course, yeah, on average, it will start at like 22 students, maybe 28 students. Cool. How many of them are going to pass? 6 or 8. And when I say 6 or 8, people say, oh, that's a really low number. It's a realistic number. That's the truth. You ask people and they will tell you for themselves. I would like to know if anyone who is a previous apprentice or they've been into college, how many people pass on your course? Let me know in the comment section, because there are a lot of plumbers who watch my videos, especially apprentices and stuff like that. I've always told people that you want to get a good mentor. You want to get someone who you look at and you can say, do you know what? They know what they're talking about. And ask them questions. You know, I understand that at that age, you're a bit shy, a bit timid, not sure what to say. And you're not even sure what to do. So this is why you need someone who can show you what to do, hands-on. Because the hands-on experience is priceless. When you get out there, you won't know what your Phillips screwdriver is from your flat screwdriver, because you just wasn't listening. You know, when someone says, pass me the screwdriver, I need to close that off. You passed them a Phillips, thinking, oh, that's a screwdriver, that's all right. It's the wrong type of screwdriver. We generally need flat screwdrivers, yeah? Isolation valves, just service valves. Just think about them like that. But the mindset is not there already because people have not had the experience. And the experience is priceless, what they can get from someone who has done the job. There are many times that I've been able to make a lesson stick because I'm able to tell a story of something what happened when I was on the tools, and they're going to remember the story better than they remember the lesson. Do you get it? I remember, sir, when you told us this lesson, when this happened to you. Right. There you go. The brain thinks in different ways, in so many different ways. And me learning more about the students who I teach has obviously enabled me to be a better lecturer at the end of the day, innit? What I feel people just understand off the top of their head, they don't. That's the truth. And they need more support. And I've realized that there are many colleges which I've went to and I've had to give extra lessons. Like, most recently spoke to a college and they haven't had a plumbing lecturer for the best part of 2 months, which is definitely worrying, because how behind on the course can you be? Do you get it? I think it's every 4 to 6 weeks you should be having an exam, depending on the flow of the class. When I say the flow of the class, I mean how fast you're getting through the different modules. And if you're going slow because there is no lecturer, how the hell are you going to do it? How the hell are you going to catch up during the time? And on the flip side of that, we obviously have the disruptive students as well, because there are, and there is a lot of them. There are a lot of young people who they just don't know what they want to do. They don't know what they want to do, but they can't have the guidance from someone who hasn't done what they want to do, can they? I can't talk someone into something if I've never done it myself. If I've never been in the trade and had the hands-on experience and the experience to be able to tell the next generation, do you know what? If you stick with this, it will be a way for you to pay your bills forever. You won't have to be some hustler on the street. You won't have to be selling drugs. You won't have to be up to no good in life. You could have a trade, you could earn money, and you could be okay. But how could you tell someone that story if you never done it? You're going to just lie to them, because that's not going to make much sense neither. I don't believe in giving any of those people false narratives about anything what we're trying to teach them. I'm just looking at the person in the chat, and I'll answer your question in a little bit, mate. But my point of this whole video was that tradespeople struggle to be able to get in front of the classroom and get in front of these students, because it's nothing to do with academically. It's just to do with the syllabus and what we're teaching. On my personal experience, it's out of fucking date. It's been out of date for years. It needs to be redundant, and it needs to be rethought of again. They've obviously tried to change things a little bit more by bringing in T skills. They've obviously tried to change things a little bit more by bringing in another qualification, which is less of 6035. Yeah, 635 is what most people get taught. And that pass rate has begun to become lower and lower and lower and lower after the years. So they've made it easier for students to pass. And I know that because I've been teaching them, you know. But when you come to the course and you've got less qualifications, maths and English, less fundamental skills, that's what they call them, you're going to struggle. That's just a given. But how do you combat that? You can only combat that with support. Colleges do not have the fucking resources to give people support. There are so many colleges out there that have these things called, they're like, what are they called? They are called, say like when you want to do work experience, yeah? So they've got a section where you can go to be able to get work experience for your college. And I'm going to give you a prime example. So I used to work in a place called Mid Kent. It was the shittest college ever. Don't know if anybody goes to it, but poorly organized, right? So one person has got to help. There's 4 classes. So there's about 80 students on level 1, 80 students on level 2. That one person is supposed to find them work placements and get work experience for 80 people. Do you think that person, I shouldn't say she because it could be a he sometimes, but a few times it's been a she. Do you think that one person can help those people? The answer is no. It's too many people. Most colleges do not have any connections outside with any workplaces. They don't build any relationships with any workplaces. And they can't get other people in because of the way they're running it, or because of they use all of those moments as a photo opportunity. Let's take a photo with the tradespeople who live locally. That's what people want to come in and do. They're not interested in helping them in any type of way, or building them, or even funding or supporting, which they need as well. But I've always suggested that they need stuff like this. As an influencer and as a person who definitely feels super passionate about helping other people learn the trade, because people have helped me learn the trade. So I know it's only my duty to help others to learn the trade, right? When I go there, they will tell me, oh, because you got like 10,000 followers on Instagram, could you get in contact with some of your brands or some people to come down to the college to give some life experience? And no, because isn't that Sarah's job over there? Why am I doing that for? So you lot can get the recognition for it. No, you've got a whole department and you pay someone separately to do that. Has nothing to do with the lecturer. I'm only here to mentor the young students and get them through and give them the best that I can give them. So now you're overstretching me because you're asking me to do 2 jobs. I can't do that. I've got to run around after this one that thinks he's Central C, that's got a balaclava on his face when he turns up to the class, that tells me he's on stuff. Got to just deal with him first. Do you get it? So it becomes such a struggle. But all what's going to happen is that what's happening today is we're churning out people with less experience. We've deprived them of going to a trade show because the college doesn't want to take the responsibility to take them there. For 6 or 7 years, I've been in colleges telling them, let's go to trade shows. Let's go to the local merchants. Let's go to this place. Let's go to that. Oh, no, we can't do that. Oh, Mr. London Plumber, are you going to take responsibility for these lot? They ain't going to act up when I'm with them. They might act up with you, but with me, it's not happening. And it always points back to, and I felt like a lot of the time, what can I do more to support them? Because that's what it's about. And I knew that I got into a frame of mind every time I worked for somewhere and people were like, and I felt like I was doing them a little bit of an injustice myself, because I know that you need more. If I know you need more and you're not able to get it, how did you think that makes me feel as a person? Makes me feel like my job is half done. Makes me feel like I can give more, but the college are fighting me against that. So after a while, as a tradesperson, yeah, I just feel like there ain't nothing we can do here. Do you get it? There's nothing that we can do here. We can only churn them out at the rate what they're getting, which is, some of them is low quality, man. Some of them is low vibrations. It's low quality people that we're putting out now. When originally Britain, England has got high trade standards. But we cannot get high trade standards if we've not got the high trades people in those positions to teach their knowledge. And don't get me wrong, there's a proportion of tradespeople who will never fucking go into a classroom because they feel as if, oh, I could never deal with students. They're not that bad, you know. You know, it takes time to get through to some people, but when you've got them, they're like your kids. That's the only way I can describe it to you. Like, I make sure that they do better because it's to give yourself a chance. You know, I always say when I start any lessons, this is like a blank bit of paper. This is your life. If you've decided you want to be a plumber on the top of that, now you need to get the qualifications. Now you need to fill up your CV. And before you know it, you'll be off flying, doing your thing. But unless you put in the groundwork and have the support from the beginning, it's fucking difficult. I'm telling you. Because, yes, students ask me questions like, I want to get to the money. I want to make money. I want to do this. I want to do that. Cool. No problem. Kudos. But it ain't going to happen overnight. You're going to struggle a little bit. That's normal, you know. You're going to have times when you feel like you don't want to go to this class. But if you're looking at it from the short term, you're always going to get short-term goals. It's a long-term thing, and they don't tell them that. That's another thing. The amount of students that heard have said, I've got an NVQ level 2. I want to go to work. You ain't got enough experience. You haven't. Because there's people who have an NVQ level 2 and they got 5, 10, 15 years experience. They're always going to outbeat you to get a job. You're going to be bottom choice, last choice, basically. If an employer can pay you 3/4 less than what he's paying the other person, he'll get you in. But the possibility of you fucking up the job is higher. We've always got other additional factors which run into this, why we're churning out low level plumbers in the UK. We have. But we've also got some very good examples as well of people who have higher level of education and standards. You know, shout out Hit Magazine, because they're doing a wonderful job showing our high level qualified plumbers, but that's only a small amount. That is only a real small amount. And the number what we need for the UK is so high, never going to reach it. Never going to reach it. It's not going to be a dying trade to be able to get in. It's just going to be the people who are highly skilled and qualified are going to be up here and the rest are going to be down here. It's going to be very sad at some point, but it's starting to happen, you know. And I've always thought to myself, if I'm going to be involved in teaching, lecturing, I'm going to try to make a difference. I'm not going to sit here and tell people that it's all hunky-dory, thumbs up. It's not. It's not like that. And it's sad because it's not like that. Because again, at points we're doing a disgenuineness to the learners. But we also have to understand that there are 7 different ways to learn something. I mean, I learned that at a late age, that there's 7 different ways. And if someone's not getting something, could I give them one-on-ones? Could they come back for extra lessons? Do I have the time? Is the college going to even pay me? Do they even respect the things what I'm doing? These are the things which cross your mind as a lecturer. You think to yourself, you know, I'm doing this for you. And I say it to the students, I do it for you. I don't do it for them. Colleges, just like private training centers, they're businesses. They're businesses that care about this. I thought it was about qualifications at the beginning, but it's just this really, which is sad. But if we're going to do this, just make sure you're giving them good quality. That's my thing. And I think it's very hard for them to give them good quality when they're mixed up within giving them the basics, the low level. And I think we're starting to see this because there are quite a lot of colleges around London who are closing, like Cornell College, which is specifically in North London and West London. So their campus, which is in Gray's End Road, that will be closing very soon. And Tottenham Cornell College will be closing very soon as well because they've sold the land. Little did you not know. If you don't know, come here, subscribe, get to know, and I'll tell you, because information is free, people. I like to share the information which I know about colleges because I get asked so many questions about it. Is it worth it? Should I go to a private training center? Where's the best college to go to? What I find people don't do is do their research. If you're looking at 2 possible colleges for you to be able to go to college at and learn plumbing, go for the one which has the higher pass rate. It's simple. They might have the better lecturers. They might have the better facilities. Some of the facilities are inadequate to be able to teach the trade because they have inadequate ventilation. I was at a college which is in Waltham Forest, yeah, and they spent £40,000 on the ventilation system. And guess what you couldn't do? You couldn't solder in the classroom. You had to open the doors. Same thing with a college in Gray's End Road, Cornell. It's inadequate to be a workshop. It's not built for workshop purposes. So when something's not built to serve a purpose, don't you think it's hard for you to be able to get on and do your things you need to do in it? Of course it is. Do you get it? Let me just answer this person's question. Students need high quality training in the UK and access to adults. Look, most of the high quality training centers are private. It's a fact. They got the money to spend because people pay. But just like colleges, people pay and they make money too. Where they spend their money is not in that remit. It's a fact, you know. And I understand that a lot of us, we don't want to be a part of it, because putting our name to something while thinking that you can change a broken record is just like going around in a circle, going around, you go around, you learn the same things. You realize the problems here is the same problems here. And it's sad because the majority of students and young people who just want to get on and learn. Yeah. But again, they will have no lecture for 3 months. They will have nobody being able to provide a good training system for them. Read it again. I will do in a second, bro. It's just a problem, you know. I'm in Norway and we have trade schools for apprenticeships. Big up the people in Norway in the chat right now. Yeah, we don't have something like that, like Pacific training places just for plumbers and stuff like that. They might start bringing them out as academies at some point, but we don't actually have that at the moment. But Norway and other places in Europe are way more advanced than UK. I mean, to be honest, the thing about getting the City and Guilds in Great Britain, yeah, is that your qualifications are recognized, I think, in 72 different countries. So it's, if you've got the skills, you can transfer it over. Do you get it? So if I was to go to somewhere like Norway, I could transfer my skills over. If I went to somewhere like Canada, I could always transfer my qualifications over because they're recognized in so many different countries. That's the problem with other places. They're not recognized. I would have to Google it in Norway, but I'm quite sure it would be. If anybody knows, just let me know in the comment section below. But this is the common problem which we do have today, people, which is we are all being taught by a lot of people who are not tradespeople. I'll give you another story, yeah? So I went for an interview one time at a college, and they told me that someone who was teaching them wasn't a plumber and didn't have the qualifications, but he was getting along with the class. What the fuck? Getting along? Getting along teaching them what? He doesn't have the experience to be able to teach them. Doesn't have teaching qualifications, which you don't need at this point because everyone is 16 and 17. So you don't need no teaching quals. So all that teaching quals, what other tradespeople think they need to be getting to the industry, there's bollocks. You don't need that. You don't teach under 15-year-olds. I've taught one kid who is 14 once in the 9 years, and he was flying perfectly fine. Yeah, got on with the older lads, was one of the boys, enjoyed the class, and always turned up. And I think he had some type of problems why he got pulled out of school and stuff like that, right? But he worked fine with the students, with the rest of the students who were older than him. No one bullied him, no one moved funny with him. He just got along with everyone. I'm 18 and I now work 5 days a week, 8 hours per day. That's really good. So what it sounds like you have there, which is like a modern day apprenticeship. Do you still go to college? I'm asking the person in Norway if they still go to college, because I just want to know from my personal experience. But thank you for tuning in all the way from Norway to listen to my conversation. I think that's important. No, he doesn't. Okay, cool. what I always ask people is, what can we do better to support that generation? Because that generation are the plumbers of tomorrow. My time is coming to the time of being done. I've only got my experience to give and my knowledge to people. That's why I come online and I spit facts and I tell the truth about certain things. People say, it's harsh, but do you know what? Reality is what we live in today. The reality of being a plumber is that it's not an instant making money thing. It's what you learn and what you pick up on and what you can understand and retain. Retaining the information, whether it be on a repair, installation, how to do something, or what type of materials to use for a specific job, is where you start to make money, because you can think fast, you can put things together, you can be able to diagnose jobs when you look at them. I've been able to diagnose most plumbing jobs by people just sending me WhatsApp pictures. We finish school before we do our apprenticeship. Yeah, of course, we do that as well. So 16 to 17-year-olds, when they finish school, they can do a modern day apprenticeship in the UK as well. But it's harder for people to find modern day apprenticeships. Two factors kind of go into that at the moment, this present moment. So any employee who wants to take on a new apprentice is now being charged an extra £1,000 by national insurance. And we've always said to people before that some of our younger generations of people who are getting into plumbing, it's more of a liability, and the insurance is higher now than it was when I was doing it. And when I was doing it was 21 years ago. It's a long time ago. Do you get it? Insurance is up. Everything's up. Inflation's up. If inflation's up by 6%, it's going to push everything up across the board, which obviously disrupts a lot of things at the same time. But for those who want to learn, I would always tell you to do your research and find a reputable college which you can be safe within, by knowing that you're getting the right mentors for what you need, by the college offering additional courses outside plumbing. Like I've always said, ground source heat pumps are the thing to go for this year, because it's in the UK, it's something what the government is pushing. So therefore the money in that is high. So I'll become a plumber, get qualified, ground source heat pumps straight away, because the pipe work needs to go to the ground source heat pumps. The ground source heat pumps need to be commissioned. They also need to be maintained as well. So you've got a large portion growing within the UK of maintenance within that. I've done a video recently as well, which I will pin in the description box below. 2 years apprenticeship and 1 year's testing and qualifications. So it's 3 years in total in Norway then, your apprenticeship. I think the apprenticeship here is 4 years, if I'm correct. So the times have changed when it comes to modern day apprenticeships now today. It's actually a little bit more harder for students to be able to get in. But one common problem which I see them do when we're at college is they wait until they finish their qualification to be able to apply for jobs or apply and start looking. When you finish college, don't you feel that everyone else in the fucking country is finished at the same time? And they're all going to bombard and look for jobs at the same time as you. I always tell people to get in there early. You got your dad's friend who gave you some work experience. Why don't you reach out to him? I'm really trying to take this plumbing thing seriously. I wondered if you could offer me some more work, or is there a possibility that you could possibly take me on, or could I finish my portfolio with you? That's where a lot of people fuck up, which is the portfolio side of it, where they need to get the assessment signed off by someone who comes out. And that spirals over 5 months, 4 months, 3 months. You try and find local people. It's hard because, like I said, some plumbing companies and plumbers see others as a liability. And some of them are fucking lazy. They don't want to do nothing for no one. But if you've not built any type of relationship with you, how can they just turn around and do this for you? I told them to give them their time for free. I told them to try and make connections with these people from early. These are the things what we need to do. So I've always thought about ways how I can be more resourceful while giving my 2 pence on it, because I feel that me being a lecturer and also a tradesperson, yeah, I really do understand what type of level of support people need. And I know that it's very hard for colleges to give it, but we're dealing with a broken record when it comes to the college thing. That whole thing needs to change. You know, it's not working. One time I actually heard, and this is the true fact, yeah. So imagine someone telling you that you're going to have your work experience over your phone. So you're going to log in and you're going to do virtual work experience. I'm dead serious. Virtual work experience. You might as well just go on TikTok and scroll. That's what you might as well do at this point. Because if people can't get a CSCS card, get set up just from college so you can step your way into employment, it's like giving people the qualifications but making them unemployable because you're giving them no experience. And that's where it matters. Like I said to you, the career department inside all colleges, they're there to help. But how can they be helping anyone if they're overloaded? Why don't they just employ another person? Why don't they just be realistic and say, look, every different term, 4 terms, right? We can only help 20 people. So if any of the 20 people want help, please go to this point at this time. But they won't do that because they'll be organized. Do you get it? It's a fucked up thing to be able to try and understand, but the reality is the reality and the truth is the truth. Anyone, if they want, they can go and look up the statistics online about people passing courses, especially plumbing courses, and how much of those people pass the course who actually end up with a job. I would love for people to do that and let me know your personal experience. If you've had a college or you're at college at the moment and you don't have a lecturer, how disruptive is that to your learning? You get into a rhythm when you're learning, right? And I find, not to be sexist, but most of the classes are boys, right? And it's hard to get boys into a rhythm of routine. And the thing about it is that boys love routine. They love to come in and realize, oh, we've got this to do and we've got that to do. Cool. Crack on with it. And when you crack on with it, it builds confidence. But I'm not about to build any false confidence in any young student if I realize that you haven't got the ability to do it or you're not fucking interested. Like, I watch them. I watch and learn and see who's doing what. One person would be really good, but for some of them, it's easier for you to learn off him than me because you feel more comfortable with him. That's your business, you know. He doesn't know more, but I'm sure that the person who I've told to teach you, he knows the correct way how to do it. So it's easier for me. It makes my job easier for me. But I always want to help people. That's the thing. That's kind of, I feel that's my problem in life, is that I always feel that everyone deserves a bit of help. Because I got help and I was able to end up in the part where I am today. So that's why I jump on the internet. I'm here to encourage people, but I'm here to also tell people the reality is that a lot of the lecturers have no life experience while being a plumber. It's a fact. Don't need to lie about it. You can Google it, or you can ask your lecturer next time you're in. When was the last time you done a plumber job? When was the last time you changed a radiator? When was the last time you changed a boiler? When was the last time you changed a tap? Just ask them. Simple question. Oh, it was a little while ago, you know? Funny you should say that. Why is that funny? There's nothing funny about that. You know, if it's a trade where you're able to progress and make money within it, why'd you stop doing it? Because remember, after 21 years, me changing a trap, siphon, a washing machine, a radiator, it only gets easier because I know what to do. I've seen this scenario before. This has happened to me before. Oh, what's happening now is that it's cross-threaded. Oh, I didn't know that. Cool. Yeah, well, I can see it is. You're doing it up the thread and it seems to jump every single time. It's cross-threaded. Oh, I wondered why it wasn't going on. I was kind of forcing it on. It's not going to go on, is it? You need to get a new one. Simple. It might be default from when you bought it, or you might have done that forcefully. Because they're most of these things are machine threads. So they're quite fine. They're perfect. But we need to teach people the right way, and I feel that the adults have a responsibility to be adults in this situation and realize some of the things what we're teaching our younger students, whether it's getting into colleges or getting into any of these places, they just need a better level of support. Yeah. And sometimes it's just not easy. It's hard for them to be able to talk to you about it, but it's a collective thing. Yeah. It's a collective thing. So I will be answering any questions on this live in the comment section. So this is one of my first lives, what I've done in 2026. Want to bring more people to these conversations and communities. So make sure you like, share, and subscribe, people, because today I just unpacked why they're failing so much, which is the system is failing them. We're teaching people old shit. We've got establishments which are not fit for purpose, i.e. right ventilation, i.e. enough tools for everybody. Using old tools don't make sense. We're not using things which we use in everyday practice when they go out. So again, it's like you've got to relearn everything what you're there to use. Sometimes we've got to make it make sense, innit? But I appreciate all of the people who have come onto the chat today, and appreciate what's your name? Peng W07 from Norway. Had people visit from Norway in the chat. Big yourself up, man. Make sure you like, share, and subscribe. And if you're live right now, drop a little like so I can see it, because YouTube deals with currency. And make sure you subscribe to my YouTube channel, because I'm putting nothing but bangers out. We're going live a lot more. I think I maxed about 8 people in the live today, which is good, man. I haven't been live in a minute. So the community is strong. Again, I will be doing some Q&As very soon. So if you've got some questions, I will be able to answer them. But I do want to keep things always on topic. And just make sure you keep smashing that subscribe button, man. Because I'm Mr. London Plumber. I always like to give my experience over the 21 years that I've been in the plumbing industry. I also own a plumbing business as well, guys. So I'm a plumber by trade, own a plumbing business. I'm an influencer, and I'm someone that feels passionate about plumbing. And if you want to learn through even my own mistakes, things which I wish I'd done, I've got a video coming out soon, 10 things about plumbing, what they never tell you. That's going to be a banger as well. I put what courses I think will be hot for 2026 in another video, which is out now on my on my page. So I will try and link that in the description box below for anyone who wants to check that out. 2026 people, we're here, we're live. We're going to start going live now and start popping them off, people. It's Mr. London Plumber. Make sure you like, share, and subscribe. Let's get it. Thank you, everyone. I'm out.